love, my thoughts, and my life in selfish service to thee. Release from me all that hinders the fulfillment of my holy purpose and ascension. Teach me to be kind in the ways of the brotherhood of life. Direct and establish my life stream in ways that daily and hourly my true identity in God manifests. Love, God, presence, I am. Eternal Father, Mother God, may the covenant I made with thee be totally fulfilled. May I live my life to feel your love and see your light. May your will manifest on earth as it is in heaven. Into thy hands I surrender my being, that through me God be glorified in all things. And so be it. Beloved, I am. Is that your iPhone, Jaden? Is that my iPhone you're on? Is that it? No?
Why? You can see me?
No.
Oh. No, that's not it.
Prayer and invocation to the second ray, golden flame of illumination. Call to illumination flame. Illumination flame from the heart of God. Expand thy light through me always. Golden flame from the heart of God. Fill my heart with thy wisdom ray. Illumination flame from the heart of God. Expand God's mind with all my thoughts. Golden flame from the heart of God. Illumine earth with thy golden light. Golden flame from the heart of God. To thy love and light I bow. To thy love and light I bow. To thy love and light I bow. Adoration to your God self. The third ray, rose pink flame. Beloved, great presence, I am. Thou life that beats my heart, blaze now thy radiant love rays. Let me be an anchor of love for all. Flood me with thy glory, and let my heart be always with you. My beloved God presence, I am. I evoke thy great radiance. Infuse my mind and heart with thy love. Expand and raise my consciousness to ascended master octaves of life. With all your love, merge with me more and more each day until I become thyself in manifestation. I am adoring thee. I am adoring thee. I am adoring thee. In deep gratitude, I offer my love to thee. In deep gratitude, I offer my love to thee. Love me, love me, love me. Love me, love me, love me. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Prayer for divine love. In the name of my beloved I am present, I call the power of divine love to be magnified with my heart and world daily. I am love, joyous love, radiating love, unconditional love. God consumes my shadows, transmuting them into love. This day I am a focus of divine love flowing through every cell of my being. I am a living stream of pure divine love that can never be requalified by fear, anger, hatred, dislike, and greed. All negative thoughts and feelings are now dissolved and consumed by the power of divine love, which I am. I am love. I love in the consciousness of love. I am love in its full expression, blessing all mankind with divine love. I radiate love. I am love in action, blessing, uplifting, and healing all on earth. The fourth ray, dazzling white ray, ascension flame, prayer to self-love. From the Lord God of my being, I am that I am decreed. I have love for my journey into my ascension. I have compassion for all physical and emotional pain I still need to heal. I give thanks that I am now healing the past and resurrecting the new. As a master of divine expression walking the earth, I now turn on the light of my divinity. I now activate and transform my DNA into its fifth dimensional potential. I now choose to complete, heal, and rejuvenate my physical body. I choose to remain happy, harmonious, and grateful. I claim the mastery that is mine to manifest my freedom. I allow my divinity to manifest in a most wondrous way. I give thanks that it is done according to God's holy will. I call for shafts of ascension light to blaze through me daily and hourly. And so be it. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Beloved, I am. Let's see this. Fifth ray. Prayer and invocation to the fifth ray, emerald green ray of healing. Healing through releasing negative energies. I am master of divine expression. I now release all separation and limitation that no longer serve my path of life. I release all vows of poverty and limitation that I have ever made in this and past incarnation. I release all imprints, implants, negative thought forms, black magic spells and curses, negative patterns of human ego, illness and disease patterns, and all energies that no longer serve my path of life. By the intervention of divine grace, with my full intent, I choose to release all energies of separation, limitation, and all blockage back to the universe. I ask for these energies be purified and transformed into the highest form of light. I evoke the assistance of Archangel Realms, Master Hilarion, Mother Mary, Archangel Raphael, my monad, and all ascended masters to release from my being and world all levels of energy that are less than my divine blueprint of perfection and my eternal victory in the light. Through my ascension, and so be it. Beloved, I am. Sixth ray, golden orange ray of resurrection. I am the resurrection and life of my perfect health. I am the resurrection and life of my finances. I am the resurrection and life of my gift of my divinity. I am the resurrection and life of my eternal youth and beauty. I am the resurrection and life of perfect work. I am the resurrection and life of my heart flame. I am the resurrection and life of perfect vision. I am the resurrection and life of my perfect relationship. The seventh ray of the violet flame. In the name of the I am that I am, I now call for the action of the violet transmuting flame to be activated in my entire conscious being and world. Violet flame from the heart of God, violet flame from the heart of God, violet flame from the heart of God. Expand that light through me each day. Expand that light through me each day. Expand that light through me each day. Transmute and heal my human imperfection into shining diamond of God's heart and Christ's perfection. As I surrender to that radiant light, take dominion over my life, blaze into action the mercy flame of the compassionate heart, expand and saturate within me the wonders of the violet light until I am totally transformed. Beloved, I am present. Send the violet flame to purify every cell, atom, and electron of my being until I am raised into my eternal victory by action of the violet fire and the ascension flame. And so it is. Beloved, I am. Okay. Now we're going into our decrees. Okay. We're going to do 15 minutes of decrees. Maybe 20. 20. Love, mighty and present. Inform me now, my mighty magic electronic tool with descended master light substance. Make it so powerful that no human creation can pass through. See that it keeps me invisible, invincible, and invulnerable to everything but the almighty perfection, and infinitely and divinely sensitive to thee and that divine perfection. Beloved, I am present. Beloved, mighty, I am present. Grace and I come on. Keep me in every person, place, condition, and thing under radiation of the descended master Saint Germain, surrounded with the invincible wall of blue flame outside the tube of light and standard protection, until all are free of the ascension. We thank thee, thou shalt always answer our every call. Love, mighty and present. Blaze up through me now your mighty body consuming flame. Purifying power of divine love, its most powerful dynamic activity. Consume cause, effect, breaking and removing forever of all human constituted desires and feelings of my being and world. And every mistake which my outer self is responsible, replace it with the sending master's electronic substance of light, love, purity, and perfection, and hold your dominion within me forever. We're going to do the most powerful decree, which is this one. I am the conquering present, and I command this I am present to govern perfectly my mind, home, affairs, and world. Baba, my beloved, mighty and present, I thank you for all that you give me, grace throughout my life, my family, my friends, my living environment, a healthy mind and body, a strong memory of total recall of mind, divine character and personality, celibacy, harmony, full realization, money, wealth, and fulfilling my desire to serve God and earn accumulated $1 million a year. Thank you, Baba, Bhagavan and Chinan, the Guru Master Vilasana, the Mother Amachi, beloved Saint Germain, Lord Jesus Christ, and the entire company of heaven. I give thanks, I give thanks, I give thanks. Decrees for America. Through the beloved mighty, I am present, which I am. I demand and command the ascension of everybody and everything on this earth, of all plant life, all substance, and all energy. I demand the ascension of everybody and everything on this planet, out of everything that has ever been human, and into the invincible God victory of the Sin Master Octave. As I continue to make this call, more and more light comes into my world, more and more harmony and less limitation. My momentum one day reached a point of saturation and go into the blazing light of my high mental body forever. In the name of the blood, mighty, and presence, in the name of the Son of Jesus Christ, in the name of the freedom of America, in the name of the ascension of all mankind, I issue the eternal fiat. The hordes of evil shall not longer hold mankind enslaved to their destruction. The hordes of evil shall not desecrate the apples of God. I so command in the name of the mighty and present, which I am for all eternity, and we thank thee it is done. I am the resurrection and the life of America's God, government, into complete ascension of all. I am the resurrection and the life of America's God, into complete ascension of all. Yes, I am the resurrection and life, the invincible freedom of the American people. I am the resurrection and life of America's mortal victory and freedom in the life. I am the resurrection and life of the honesty and honor required in this nation to take the people out of clutches of all destructive forces. I am the resurrection and life. I am the ascension and the life of the United States of America and their entire government out of all human law and into the invincible victory of divine law forever. I don't know why I'm shutting up. I am the resurrection and life. I am the ascension and light of the United States of America out of the clutches of the beast and into the invincible freedom and control by God's authority of the beloved, mighty, and present forever. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the resurrection and the life. I am the resurrection and the life of America's invincible purity and freedom of God's heart, manifesting as the ruling power of this nation, then throughout the world forever. Beloved, mighty, I am present. Such freedom, health, prosperity, and harmonious action come forth for America and the world as have never before been experienced on earth. The law of forgiveness. I am, my beloved, I am presence, and ascended master's law of forgiveness and the consuming flame of all inharmonious actions and human consciousness that goes into all life everywhere on this earth, forgives all discord, forgives everything that is of discord by filling it with and covering over with the body consuming flame and the fiery Christ blue lightning, indestructible purity that consumes all evil, all lack and limitations everywhere throughout the world forever. Almighty I am, Almighty I am, Almighty I am. Through the invincible, victorious, mighty and present which I am, and the invincible, victorious hand of the cosmic Christ, I speak directly to all the substance of my mind, body, being, and will that has been discordantly qualified, especially in my atomic structure. I call on the law of forgiveness of having imposed shadows upon it. I bless with all love of my heart and call Saint Germain, body consuming flame, and its power blue flame into action, blessed with invincible purity and love, which will be divine justice back to life. I demand this come into manifestation swift as a flash, as the ascended master see it. And I demand this manifest, 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 and all our victory, 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 attain right now. I expect this manifest, 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 and all our victory, 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 attain right now. I am this manifest, 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 and all our victory, 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 attain right now. Almighty I am, Almighty I am, Almighty I am. Beloved, mighty and present, I pour forth my love, gratitude, and blessings to you, the mighty and presence, and all the great beings of light and love of the great central sun. I call on the law of forgiveness for my own mistakes and those of all mankind, and for having been unjust to you throughout the centuries. I call unto you to dissolve and consume, purify and correct all conditions which I have thrown out of bounds. I give praise, thanks, and gratitude for all the blessings I have received, my beloved, mighty, and present through the centuries, and for all the blessings that are now within the borders of our own beloved United States of America today and forever. Beloved, mighty, I am present. You stand guard over my tongue and never let me speak words of criticism, condemnation, judgment, blame of any person, place, condition, or thing. Reach down your hand and withdraw all substance of criticism, condemnation, judgment, blame, or other human qualities with which I have charged my being in the world. Consume it all in the cosmic body consuming flame and Saint Germain's power blue flame. Then stand guard and say, I do not requalify any more of your pure energy flowing through my being in the world. Almighty I am, Almighty I am, Almighty I am. If you got a crystal, hold it in your hand. Brother Hank says it manifests 600 times. Beloved, mighty and present, Kohans of the seven flaking flames. Beloved Elohim, Arcturus, Cassiopeia, Cyclopia, Peace, Purity, Orion, and Hercules. Through the beloved invincible fiery hand of the cosmic Christ, I call to beloved Saint Germain and the ascended host to charge through every electron and every cell in my mind, body, and world. Your royal blue flame of the will of God, your golden yellow flame of illumination, your golden pink flame of cosmic love, your pure white ascension flame, your emerald green flame of healing and prosperity, your golden orange flame of the resurrection and life, your violet consuming flame of invincible purity. Move this into action, build perfection within me, make it imperishable, self-luminous, and forever blazing with permanent habits to me, and all I contact into all our ascended and free. Almighty I am, Almighty I am, Almighty I am. In the name of the beloved mighty I am present, I say to all that holds me back from being in action, my spiritual, physical, and financial abundance, you have no power. Stop, stop, stop. Be thou dissolved and consumed from the universe by the invincible body hand of the valley consuming flame and cosmic action. I am the Lord, the victorious presence, the fiery presence of the cosmic Christ, which takes your place for eternity. You shall respond to my command and release your control over the outer self of Ra, Lalji Selassie, for I am the resurrection and the life of the Lord, the sacred fire controlling all forever. Beloved Saint Germain and mighty God Tabor, make me pure enough, a body consuming flame, purifying power, to be worthy to enter the retreat in the Rockies over which beloved God Tabor is authority. Electronic degree. Beloved mighty and presence, and my higher mental body, come forth through this mind and body, compel all discord into the body consuming flame. You stand. You make me the perfection I desire. You stand guard. You see that I forget nothing. You take command of me and say that I go forward to victory. In the moment your voice speaks your words and commands, you see therefore filled physically, tangibly, and instantly your physical masterful way. And I demand this manifest, manifest, manifest. In all of victory, 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 terror right now. I expect this manifest, manifest, manifest. In all of victory, 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 terror right now. I am this manifest, manifest, manifest. In all of victory, 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 terror right now. Almighty I am. Almighty I am. Almighty I am. I am the perfecting presence, mighty I am presence, great host of ascended master, great angelic hosts, great cosmic beings, and all who govern the system of worlds, and the cosmic activity of the all-seeing eye of God. Watch, watch, watch me every second of each day and see that I do not see, think, say, feel, hear, or experience anything but your almighty victory and perfection, and all I do forever. Pour through me your body-consuming flame, and the most powerful radiation of indestructible harmony to be the authority that controls all conditions which I must move, and see they affect me in my world only harmoniously. Oh, Jesus. Okay. So the screen stop sharing. Go back to share. Stop share. Go back. Okay. Oh, come on. FW. Okay, I don't know how this happened. Did you turn on something back there?
No, why?
Because I see you back there anyway.
I just turned myself off.
And it turned on. It turned on here.
Is that what you wanted?
It took away. Stay in here for a while, all right? I'm resume share. So when I call resume share, oh, come on.
What do you need, though?
Yes, okay. I need you to stay here, okay? You sit there, stay here for a while. I need you to stay here. I am the perfecting presence, mighty I am present, great host of ascended masters, great angelic hosts, great cosmic beings, and all who govern the system of the world. And the cosmic activity, all seeing eye, God, watch me every second of each day, and see that I do not think, say, feel, hear, experience anything but your almighty victory and perfection, and all I do forever. Pour through me your body consuming flame, and the most powerful radiation of indestructible harmony, to be the authority that controls all conditions which I must move, and see they affect me and my world only harmoniously, right now, everywhere, forever. And I demand this manifest, manifest, manifest. In all of victory, 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 terror right now. I expect this manifest, manifest, manifest. In all of victory, 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 terror right now. I am this manifest, manifest, manifest. In all of victory, 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 terror right now. Almighty I am. Almighty I am. Almighty I am. Mighty I am present, great hosts of ascended masters, mighty legion of light, great angelic hosts, great cosmic beings, and great cosmic light. Come forth in your mightiest power of the valley consuming flame. Blast forever all in its cause effect, record and memory that causes discord or unhappiness of any kind between parents and children, husbands and wives, and all family relationships. Replace all such activity by the sudden massive feeling of loving cooperation, complete freedom, and that divine love which transcends every human concept, and with the power of 1,000 suns, release the eternal victory and freedom from within its heart. Keep it eternally sustained and ever expanding. And I demand this manifest, manifest, manifest. In all our victory, 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 attain right now. I expect this manifest, manifest, manifest. In all our victory, 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 attain right now. I am this manifest, manifest, manifest. In all our victory, 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 attain right now. Almighty I am. Almighty I am. Almighty I am. Come on. I'm the governing presence of this energy and the only power that can raise it. I'm the presence raising and transcending it, and that action is forever self-sustained. I am the present doing this, and therefore it is done now, for God's activity is always instantaneous. My beloved Divine Mother, Guru Maya, Maha Kundalini, please transfer my lesson to divine love and grant me the purest celibacy, harmony, obedience to the will of God, and divine character and personality. Beloved, mighty, and present, raise the liquid light in my body and take it back into thyself to produce perfection forever. The presence that I am, clothing my eternal transcendent garment of light. I'm the perfect poise of speech and action at all times. Through the beloved, mighty, I am present, which I am, everywhere present, and blessed Lanto. I demand the great love of the violet flames, forgiving mercy come in and around me, and love away that has been my struggle and my distress. Mighty, I am present, blaze through me thy consuming flame of divine love. Take this desire out of me, annihilate its cause and effect, past, present, and future, and replace it by the fullness of yourself. Your perfect satisfaction hold your full dominion here forever. Almighty I am, almighty I am, almighty I am. I do accept the full activity of my mighty I am presence. Man, am I sleepy?
I'm here.
Beloved, mighty I am present. I accept the attainment of my ascension in this embodiment, and I call forth whatever cosmic Christ love from the beloved mighty I am presence is required to help every nation out of the human into the divine. I demand the resurrection and life of all on this earth into the cosmic Christ love, which gives the ascension to all. I charge it in, through, and around myself. As I move forward, miracles become the natural way of life. The cosmic blue flame of the ascended master's love abides with me, and I know the ascended love is my home. Blessing Saint Germain. Mighty I am presence of the great central sun. We call forth the mightiest cosmic light and power from thy heart to bless our beloved ascended master Saint Germain, Jesus now, the great divine director Sanat Kumar, and all ascended masters and great beings of light who have guarded and assisted the children of earth through the centuries. We offer to them all the eternal love and gratitude for mankind and bless them forever. All right, we're going to skip this one and this one. Protection decrees. Through the beloved, invincible, fiery, victorious, mighty, and present, which I am, and the invincible, fiery, victorious hand of the cosmic Christ, establish your cosmic valley consuming flame in, through, and around me, and all under this radiation, this most dynamic action of the sacred fire for a radius of 300 feet in every direction. Keep it in continual action within this valley consuming flame. Blaze your spiral blue flame, and keep it whirling in this most intense action. And draw out of the body at the top of the head all imperfection and discord in the mental and feeling world, as well as the physical structure. Clear our beings and worlds of all discordant thoughts, feelings, substance, and energy, and replace them with God's invincible victory of love to be the perfection for which you call. And I demand this manifest, and all our victory, attain right now. I expect this manifest, and all our victory, attain right now. I am this manifest, and all our victory, attain right now. Almighty I am, almighty I am, almighty I am. Angels of flame sword, angels of flame sword, angels of flame sword, God, 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 all under this radiation. Angels of flame sword, angels of flame sword, angels of flame sword, God, 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 all that is of God throughout our nation. Angels of flame sword, angels of flame sword, angels of flame sword, God, 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 come, come, come now and God us all. Angels of flame sword, angels of flame sword, angels of flame sword, God, all here through this I am call. Almighty I am. So we got here. Beloved my God, my beloved mighty presence, surround me with that mighty magic circle that thought unlike thee may not find interest anywhere. And with thy invincible power and wisdom, enable me to govern and qualify all thought and outer action with thy full dominion. Wealth decrees. I am the resurrection life of my overwhelming bound supply of every good thing which I had in the first two golden ages. I demand it again come forth to serve me and fulfill the divine plan to send master way right now and forever. I am the resurrection of life of my finances now made manifest everywhere forever. I am the resurrection of life of every good thing which I had in the great central sun before the world was released me now by the light of God that never failed. I demand its use and service to me now in everything I choose to do in the physical octave. I am the resurrection and life of the ascended master's original divine way of manifesting God's supply of every good thing, a billion times more each instant of each day with light and speed, each instant of each hour right now and forever. Flood us with wealth, flood us with wealth, flood us with wealth, Almighty I am. Flood us with wealth, flood us with wealth, flood us with wealth. God take command. Flood us with wealth from God's own hand. Flood us with wealth, flood us with wealth, flood us with wealth throughout our land. Flood us with wealth, flood us with wealth, flood us with wealth. God take command. Floods of wealth, floods of wealth, floods of wealth, for God we stand. Floods of wealth, floods of wealth, floods of wealth, we insist on demand. Floods of wealth, floods of wealth, floods of wealth, our God command. Floods of wealth, floods of wealth, floods of wealth right now today. Floods of wealth, floods of wealth, floods of wealth in your perfect way. Floods of wealth, floods of wealth, floods of wealth for God's love way. Floods of wealth, floods of wealth, floods of wealth, all our bills not paid. Floods of wealth, floods of wealth, floods of wealth, and victory to stay. Floods of wealth, floods of wealth, floods of wealth, all perfection on sweat. Floods of wealth, floods of wealth, floods of wealth, God Almighty on sweat. Floods of wealth, floods of wealth, floods of wealth, like Saint Germain, freedom now, forever on sweat. I demand this manifest now. I demand this manifest now. I demand this manifest now. Not the other one, the chart, with the stuff on top of the refrigerator. Okay. Dope piece. I demand all the fire of Christ, blue light, and power, the violet flame silence, be drawn into momentum from the world of mankind to consume the human desires that have destroyed mankind. Healing decrees. Beloved mighty, I am present in my heart and mental body. Reach your hand down and put my spine in perfect alignment. Heal all bodily functions. Make them strong and healthy. Place your hand on my kidney and take out all substance that is not as pure as the goddess of purity. Place your hand on my eyes and take away all obstructions to die in my perfect sight. Place your hand on my ears and take away all obstructions to die in my perfect hearing. Place your hand on every abdominal growth in my body and consume all that substance instantly by a flash of violet consuming flame, that blue lightning, and that white fire. Hold the perfection of my high mental body there forever. I give all power of instantaneous healing to you. Take it and keep it, and never let me lean on any person, place, condition, or thing in this physical world again. You stand guard and say, I believe only on you, my source, and you do for me all that I require to be the full cinematic victory, freedom, and perfection which thou art, and hold me free forever. Take a man and do this now. Take a man and make all us bow. Take a man and hold thy hand. Take a man, I insist on a man. Take a man, and be I stand. Take a man, fulfill now thy plan. Almighty I am, almighty I am, almighty I am. Okay. Healing decree, another one, power one. Through the beloved fire victorious, mighty and present which I am, I demand, I command, the full power of the violet flame to transmute cause effect, record and memory of every thought, feeling, spoken word, or action I have ever expressed in any time, frame, or dimension, both known and unknown, that reflects negative character, personality, ill health, poverty consciousness, or lack, invitation of any kind. I demand, I command, your royal from the will of God, your golden yellow flame of illumination, your golden pink flame of cosmic love, your pure white ascension flame, your emerald green flame of healing and prosperity, your golden orange flame of the resurrection and life, your violet consuming flame of invincible purity, and blue light flame, substance, and miracle of purity. Move this into action, build perfection within me, making it perishable and self-luminous, forever blazing with permanent happiness to me, and all I contact and for all I send and free. Almighty I am, almighty I am, almighty I am. Beloved mighty and present, charge my aura with the instantaneous healing to everybody who comes near me. I am the resurrection and the life of every cell of my body, perfectly manifested, expressed, illumined, and eternally sustained in cinematic victory. I am the resurrection and life of my eternal divine memory and the use of light of God that never fails, which I had in the grace into some before the world was. I am the resurrection and the life of the ascended master, diamond shining memory of indestructible protecting perfection. I am the resurrection and the life of my pineal gland, thalamus, hippocampus, and all organs and biohumans that deal with memory. I am the resurrection and the life of total recall of mind, of everything I think, see, hear, read, write, say, and do. I am the resurrection and life. I am the ascension and the life of total recall of mind and the return of my memory back to cinematic consciousness. Beloved mighty, I am present. Charge this, my decree, with the power of 1,000 suns. Love mighty and present, great hosts of ascended masters, great angelic hosts, great cosmic beings, and the seven mighty Elohim, Arcturus, Cassiopeia, Cyclopeia, beauty around and earth. I demand, I command, ascended masters, diamond shining, indestructible, beauty, and all the perfect thing in the most of my consciousness. My indestructible activity, my enemy whatsoever. I demand, I command, my field be filled with the diamond shining, indestructible beauty of love, from the invincible sun that manifests perfection throughout infinite space. Almighty I am, almighty I am, almighty I am. Love, mighty, I am present, the great cosmic angel. Send a group of violet flame angels to keep to stand guard and assist me for this day. Love, mighty, I am present, bless the Saint Germain. Send a group of violet flame angels to keep the sacred fire of their love in and around me for this entire day. In the name, love, wisdom, power, and authority of my love, mighty, I am present. I call on countless legions, angels of light, angels of light, angels of peace, angels of mercy, angels of healing, angels of freedom, angels of victory, angels of music, angels of purity, angels of elegance with flame, and angels of light to stand guard over me and my world, over my thoughts, feelings, and speech. Protect, heal, and give me assistance wherever it is required. I command the atmosphere of earth shall be made luminous to the point where it compels mankind to see the angelic host face to face, blast the denial of their existence from the intelligence and feeling of mankind and the world forever. Beloved, mighty, I am present, and beloved, nada. I demand and I am the power of the sacred fire of the angelic host. I demand the presence and activity of its sacred fire for which I call. I demand the cosmic power of the sacred fire of the great angelic host come from the great central sun, come in and around me, in order to in and around this nation and in and around all on the earth. I demand the power flame of the great miracle activity of the angelic host of love come forth and illuminate things for me, all I need to know. I demand the cosmic sun presence of the power flame of the ascended masters, angelic host control life everywhere I abide. I am the power flame of the angelic host. We're going to cut it right there. Okay, and you know, we're going to meditate for 15 minutes. I got to get this thing down because we started 10:30, and we're gonna meditate right now. I'll stop sharing. Boy, do I need it. Sure. Yeah. Okay. Now let it go. Come on. Stop sharing. Share. Share. Chanting, I need your help doing what I'm doing. You are screen sharing, but it's not giving me the thing.
That's what the finger screen sharing. Something else, just go to your screen share. See, if the move your screen share like that, what do you want to screen share? Yeah, I'll share.
Go ahead. That's what I did. This is the third time I did that. See? But
Sharing
we can't.
Go this way.
Okay. You're sharing the screen.
Right.
Everybody can see it now.
I'm going to stand over here.
We're going to meditate for 15 minutes, y'all. 10:30. Oh boy. Big screen. Stop sharing on the big screen now. You got to call Hank. Okay. Lady from E-Banks.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
Do I need to make this bigger here, Jenny? So it's all over the screen here. Asim is
He's gone already. He's in the room. Drag
it's
it
just
down.
only me.
Yeah, we'll drag it down. Drag it over. You know something else. Let me go. Okay, 1 second.
So it's only me.
Start talking.
You got the book for me. Just have me.
Well,
Can it be so it's just me on there? Everything else going on.
I don't think so. Because it's gone live. It's still you anyway.
Or just me on the screen because nobody wants to be on it.
Still you anyway. It's not. I don't know.
Okay. All right. So
That's what I'm saying.
can you get me?
Yeah.
Can you put that in the red glass for me, please? And give me the book. All right. It's on the inside. I Am Presence, Volume 3. Betty of events. So, good morning, everybody. We're going live. The fan. I can stand. All right. What page we on, y'all? Is it is Sister Lucretia, you on?
I am.
What page are we on?
We're on chapter 17, page 195.
Okay. Let's continue from here.
Okay, Baba, did you want to read the invocation or would you like me to?
195. You can do it. But on 195, also go back to that invocation. All right. I'll read it. You can read it.
Okay. MJT, can you please mute your mic? Oh, I'm sorry. Okay. Okay. Discourse 17, November 28, 1932. Saint Germain
Discourse
Invocation.
25?
I'm sorry?
Is this Discourse 25? Did you said 119? I'm on 2.
195, 17. Discourse 17.
I'm on 219.
195. Page.
Okay.
You there?
There we go. I'm here.
Okay. Invocation. The Almighty Infinite Presence, all-pervading intelligence, all-pervading substance of life, the Almighty Presence, thou ascended Jesus Christ, now manifest through his mighty radiance. We give praise and thanks unto the light, unto thee, Almighty Brother. We give praise unto the central Sun, to the one from whose ray we receive today. Out of the fullness of thy radiant life, O God, we bow in adoration before thy mighty presence. I bring you greetings from the great Master, O God, Guru, whose messenger is Nada. He is to one great mountain of this earth, whose mystery shall one day be explained. As the Master Himalaya is to the Himalayan range, Nada is with me in the golden city, on whose twin rays we come forth today. During these next 7 weeks, as designated and as you have felt, our joint ray shall come to you each time from the golden city. The Discourse. When the students are strong enough to bear it, we will bring forth in descriptive expression one of the most stupendous expressions of the right use and wrong use of this mighty I Am Presence. This actual experience took place in what is now the Andes Mountains in South America at a remote period when the children of God first began to forget their source and to claim the mighty energy of which they were aware of as their own. Only through that authority could such an experience take place. Students, I'm on page 196, second paragraph, first full paragraph. Students and mankind have but a small conception, even in the distress they have created for themselves, of how mightily this force was used at one time for selfish purposes. A similar condition has never before been known. There still remains today the subterranean city, which will be described and in which this activity took place. This next paragraph is jewel to me. Oh, that the children of God would awaken to the stupendous activity that the powers of light use for the good of humanity when their attention is sincerely focused on that light. This next paragraph is a jewel to me as well. If the many students of the various angles of truth on the earth today would put away the ignorance of the outer mind and believe in the seeming miracles all down the ages, how it would break the shell of the outer self and let in the light. The faith to believe in the things not seen is one of the greatest means to open the door to the conscious activity of the light of the I Am Presence. And of course, everyone, if you have a question, just put your hand up and Baba will acknowledge you unless I see it first. Okay, bottom of 196. As you use the automobile and airplane to cover distance quickly, so does the great I Am Presence use the body. The body represents the airplane, and the mind is the mighty motor through which the I am presence propels. Students, I am sure, have not understood how subtle a form doubt takes at times. This next sentence is a jewel to me. Where there is a question in the mind, knowingly or unknowingly, concerning the all power of the I am presence, it is subtle. It is a subtle form of doubt. Those who want to attempt to argue the question of the reality of the great truth of life, whether they believe it or not, are admitting doubt into their lives. In this day, no sincere reasoning mind, once turning its attention and keeping it firmly fixed on the I am presence, can argue, doubt, or question the omnipotence of that I am presence. This next paragraph is a jewel to me. The scarcely recognizable form of doubt that lets into the mind argument concerning the source of its being is but a lack of strength to stand up against the law of resistance by which growth in the outer can be measured. There is a vast difference between sincere questioning to know the truth and the human propensity to argue against the very reality they want to believe. We always welcome most earnestly sincere questioning for truth, but we will have nothing to do with the nature whose dominating propensity is to argue against the reality of truth. This next sentence is a jewel to me. The more the argument of truth is admitted into the life of an individual, top of page 198, the greater the barrier that one steps up to surmount before the distant day when he does surmount it. I'll read that again, a little smoother. The more the argument of truth is admitted into the life of an individual, the greater the barrier that one sets up to surmount before the distant day when he does surmount it.
I would like to just put a comment in here. My
Yes.
guru, Swaminathananda, said, especially after you get initiated, if you doubt, the moment you begin to doubt the guru, because the guru is the one within, right? All your progress stops right there. All your progress, all your spiritual progress stops right there until you just begin to go back into realizing the truth. Continue.
Thank you, Baba. The students who criticize, condemn, or sit in judgment upon this channel of the truth expression will surely find themselves standing upon the edge of a precipice into which they may plunge at any time, for no reason in the world except their own creation. I wish all to understand this radiance of the light has been established for a certain definite purpose, and it will go forth doing its work regardless of any personality or of all personalities in existence. The remainder of this paragraph is a jewel to me. I say this plainly, that the students of this radiation may understand they are dealing with mighty forces which are real as reality can be, and those who cannot stand the test and radiance of the light need never blame anyone but themselves, for they have free will and are given the use of the mighty I am presence by which they can maintain absolute self-control.
I got that listed as a jewel also. Matter of fact, this whole page is a jewel.
Okay. I must put plainly before them again the sure way that they run into deep waters of doubt and questioning is when they are foolish enough to attempt to discuss the sacred truth which is being given to them for their own liberation and to use with those who know nothing about it. This much I may say to you: in the past, students who were taken into the retreats for instruction were never permitted, nor do they ever think of discussing the truth with each other. They silently, earnestly apply the instruction of their teacher and the results they desire are certain to follow. I'm on the first paragraph of 199. Better were the students stoned in the streets than to condemn, criticize, or judge the light that is given them. For if they will enter into the I am presence as directed, every question, every problem in their lives will disappear as the mist before the radiance of the morning sunlight. This next paragraph is a jewel to me.
If anybody got a question, just ask. Go ahead.
Okay. I take it that all the students are strong enough to hear the truth and use the strength of the I am presence to govern and control the outer, so they may receive the full presence, love, wisdom, power, and opulence of the great and mighty I am presence, which enables them to think, feel, to live, and which has given them the desire to reach for the truth and the light. Well, for the truth, the light. I wish to say plainly, and with the wand of fire placed in the consciousness of the students, that this brother and sister who are giving this forth are but messengers of those who have known and proved this law for many centuries. These great beings to whom your attention has been drawn are no myth, no figment of the imagination of the outer, but living, wise, loving beings possessing such power which they may wield or use at their own discretion. That is not possible for the human mind to conceive it. Bottom of page 199, last sentence. Always before there has been great, almost limitless time in which the student could wander about making his decision, whether he wished to act in the light or wander on in ignorance of its mighty presence and power. The cosmic cycles have turned again and again until the time has come when the children of God must make their decision final, whom they will serve. Next
I want
paragraph.
to interject something right here, because
Yes.
as Saint Germain is talking, right, and he's saying that we got this unlimited power, we have this unlimited power. We've seen the picture of the Trinity, which we are, and how they show like a little beam of light coming into our head. That is the power, and the power is unbroken. That is the I am presence, and it is unbroken. But it does not look like that. It looks like a tornado of blue light coming directly into us. The moment it touches our head and goes inside of us, that is the power of God. That is the undifferentiated power of God, the mighty I am presence. It is the self within. It is the God force. And once it passes this point, we are the God force. The difference between us and the power above, which is our Mother, Father, God, right? Or noetic thinking aspect of the Trinity that we are. We are the emotional part. The moment it passes here, we are the God controlling that energy. What happens is we decided we're going to control it however we want, rather than as a God. So we have this tremendous energy at our disposal, but we make the decision how we're going to use it. Are we going to lie? Are we going to be lustful? Are we going to steal? Are we going to do all the various things, criticism, condemnation, judgment, or blame? Are we going to do all these things? Or are we going to act like gods with the 5 yamas and niyamas, 5 things to do, 5 things not to do, which we all really know. And this is what builds on the power, helps purify us in every single solitary way, especially if we're using the decrees all the time. We're using the mantra, we're meditating, we're chanting. And the chanting brings out one of the greatest aspects of us as the God force, because it is more in line with what we are, the feeling aspect. So when you're chanting with love. You chant because of love. And so it's a devotional thing. Chanting is a devotional thing, and it's called swadhyaya in the Eastern system. I don't like to say Hindu, but in the Eastern system, in the Indian system. And this brings that this empowers us even more, because we're mixing love with the mantras and decrees. Anyway, I just wanted to insert that because he's continuously saying this, and I believe that often we miss that reality, that the God force that's coming in us is unbroken. It's not different down here than it is up there. It is the same. What's different is we act different. We are more into our ego than we are into our God self, but we could easily flip that script. Continue, my sister.
Brother Lalji, Sister Lucretia,
Yeah.
just a quick question. Doesn't the mind have a lot to do with our I am presence?
Yes. Here's the deal.
Okay, but why did it say at the end of that paragraph that it is not possible for the human mind to conceive it?
Right. The key word here is human mind. The human mind is the ego. You know, it's not the divine mind, it's the ego. And the whole nature of sadhana, or the spiritual practices, is to train the mind. The spirit is already pure and clean. It's already perfect. We have nothing to do with purifying or modifying the spirit, the God force that we are, the self within, the guru within, the mighty I am present. All of that is perfect and pure. The whole process is the mind and the body, purifying the body, purifying the mind. It's the mind that's bringing us everything that we want. If we thought on wealth and that's all we thought on, we'd be wealthy. If we thought on having a mate and that's all we thought on, that's what we'd have. If we want to be a playboy, playgirl, that would be our life. If we want God, that will be our life. And how do we get closer to God? How do we make that happen? By using these techniques that we do an hour before this class begins. The prayers, the decrees, and the decrees are way more powerful than the prayers. Remember that I said before, the prayers are supplicating God, please give me boom, 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 right? Like that. The decrees are us acting as God, knowing that we are the God self, and through the power of the spoken word, activate all electrons and atoms around us to bring into existence what it is that we want. So this is the difference between prayers and decrees. But then there's the mantra, which is infusing, like bringing in front of our face God. If we could see it, the words actually activate the God that we're saying the mantra to. Or chanting, which is showing the love, combining the love and the thought of God. You know, I mean, that's adding more power to it, right? And then meditating, looking, because as you look within, God gives you experiences. When we go into the play of consciousness, we're going to see, by Swami Muktananda, we're going to start seeing power sadhana, or powerful spiritual practices that bring about magnificent results. And as you're seeing, as you're in meditation, then you're seeing the various lights that are within inside of us. Like, you know, Baba describes these various lights and what they bring. And you get this through the Guru's grace. It's the Guru's grace that allows you to go to these higher states of consciousness. And without the Guru's grace, without the grace of your mighty I am present, without the grace of a Guru right here on earth, you're not going to go in these higher states. That's not going to happen. Now, through the medicines, you can go to certain high states. But to attain full realization or ascension without the aid of a guru, it's not going to happen. They're not going to let you into that holy space, and you're not tried and true in every single solitary word, burnt ego complete, because the power that you have, if the ego is still in existence, you can do a lot of damage. Did I answer your question, my brother? Simiku?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome. Continues, Sister Lucretia.
Okay, yes. Okay, so this next, we're on page 200, first full paragraph. And this paragraph I consider to be a jewel. Excuse me. Never in the history of the world has there been such opportunity or assistance given to the children of earth to face the sunshine of God's eternal light and walk steadfastly and fearlessly into its radiant splendor, free, forever free from all limitations, living in the abundance of that light, enfolding them like a mantle of peace and rest. Again, I say to the beloved students, if you cannot feel in your hearts the truth of these instructions brought to you on the golden platter, then don't ever, in the name of your I am presence, say or do that which would discourage another from the light he might receive. The plain, unadulterated truth I give to you in the fullness of the great love of my being, and its radiance may cause you to understand and to know that what it means to dare to do and to be silent. Any feeling of the questioning in your minds of the reality or genuineness of the source of your instruction that hampers your progress and causes you to require months or years to accomplish what you might easily do in a few weeks with a free, peaceful mind. Top of page 201.
I want to speak to that because
Okay.
Now what he said here is, I mean, it's mind blowing to me. Any feeling of questioning in your mind of the reality of genuineness of the source of your instruction, but hampers your progress. This is what I was saying before, and causes you to require months or years to accomplish what you may easily do in a few weeks with a free, peaceful mind. Now, he's talking about God consciousness, and I remember just last week we were reading where he says, if you can maintain harmony for a year, you know, people are doing austerities and this, that, and the other for decades, and they're not attaining. Guru Ma said when we was in the ashram before she started shutting things down, because people were coming up there like it's a resort. You come to, there's, of course, there's famous people. Everybody's dressing all fly and all this kind of stuff. And she's like, I'm not looking for y'all to come up here and bow before me. This is about you attaining God. And the thing about intensifying your practices and intensifying your feelings about doing this, this is what we have been discussing for the last few weeks. See, in my mind, I'm thinking, look, if he's saying we could do it, then we could do it. I saw what happened even after a year of really being intense. And I'm talking about a gangster going into the ashram. Somebody that they heard the word humility, but never used it. It just wasn't part of their reality. And having your heart and mind change within 12 months. But that's a gangster. That's not some ordinary person. That's somebody that's living a totally wretched life. If let's say you get so clean within a year and a half, and then you can really start banging out your sadhana, like you really, you're in there, you're going to find quick results. You know, if you can get into an ashram with a live guru, a real spiritual master, there's a bunch of fake ones, but there's some that are not. Or if you can get into one of these retreats that are secret, that once you get in, you come out realized, you come out ascended. This would be a great boon. You know, we do a decree that make me so pure that we get into the retreat of the God Tabor, the God of gold. If you can get into these retreats, you're done. Because once they tell, I remember we were reading in the other volumes, you go into these retreats, you got to remain silent for 5 years. I remember when I was silent for just 3 months, what that did to my consciousness, my mind, and everything else. And especially by doing this, and the only words you're speaking is the words of God, your chants, your mantras, and this and that, and even your mantra you're saying silently. It takes you to a whole nother level. Anyway, I just wanted to add that in there. We can get very far ahead, very quick, a lot quicker than we think if we just follow the rules and use the techniques, use the decrees, use the prayers, use the chanting, use the mantra, use the meditation. Meditate 1 hour in the morning, half hour in the evening, half hour at night, or 20 minutes in the afternoon and 20 minutes at night. And do these practices 3 times a day, morning, noon, and night. When we first started, we were doing 3 hours of practice in the morning. Then we cut it down to two hours and a half. Now I got it down to 2 hours and 15 minutes because the attention span behind the social media and all this other stuff hinders your ability to focus and concentrate. But if you could do the 2 hours and 15 minutes in the morning, let's say 2 hours in the afternoon, which was always difficult to me until lately when I started doing this job, I thought to myself, look, if we were to use these, like the most powerful decree they have, like I'm the conquering president, I command this, I am present, govern perfectly my mind, home, affairs, and world, right? That's one. Then we use the decree for healing. That's 2. Then we use decree for empowering the brain. That's 3. Half hour each one, right? What's the one for empowering the brain cells? I'm the quickening of the cells of this my brain structure, causing it to expand and receive the intelligent direction of the mighty inner presence, and using another one for whatever it is that you want. So we got the most powerful one. We got the one for the brain. We got one for wealth, and we got one for healing. If we just use this 4 times a day in the afternoon, or rather 2 hours, half hour each one of those decrees, or whichever ones you decide, we gain mastery through use. You know, in these coming of volumes, or rather I should say chapters, Jesus is saying, because there's a chapter where Jesus is talking. This chapter, Nada is talking. It's Nada that's speaking to us. So in that chapter, he's crushing the game. I mean, he's just on it. This is the way, y'all. This is the way to ascension. This is how you bang it out. This is by using the decrees. You gain mastery with the decrees, and you gain the ability to manifest instantly by using the decrees. In the Japa Yoga, the book that I gave to that I sent to Tiffany, and anybody who wants a book you ask, I send it to you. He's breaking it down. Swami Sivananda is breaking it down like this. You say the mantra 130 million times, which will take you about 15 years if you're sincere. God will appear to you and ask you a boon. But outside of that, I mean, a boon meaning whatever it is that you want, right? Outside of that, the purity that you have gained, the high states of consciousness that you would have attained, also comes with that. So you can say that I attain full realization, or I attain ascension, now, or whatever it is that you want. And if now that's 15 years, and that's the slow way, and that's just doing japa or mantra, repetition of mantra. What I'm trying to say here in essence is we can pull ourselves out of the human hellish condition into a God state of consciousness if we focus on it. Like, let's say Elon Musk focuses on money, or any of these people that focus on money the way they do it. If we focus on God like that, we will attain those higher states. Money is one thing. It really, at this point, it's only paper for the knowledge of most people. But in our new course with the Universal Commercial Codes, we know that money is not just paper, it's other things. But the God said, even if you earn $100 trillion, if you could actually do that in this lifetime, right? What is the difference between attaining $100 trillion and attaining full realization? One, you're a God. The other, you got money. Which is higher? Which is easier to get, even? Far easier to gain the states of consciousness than it would be to gain $100 trillion. And when you die, those $1 trillion stay behind. When you attain higher states of consciousness, those states of consciousness go with you. You are not going to experience what everybody else experiences when they leave their body. Because after all, we are immortal beings in a mortal body. So I just wanted to speak on that. Our ascension, our attainment, our realization is a lot closer than you may expect. I mean, a lot closer. And all the experiences that you have, even without the medicines, but with the medicines, it really enhances it. It really takes you to another level, and they leave a residue within you where you don't come back from these higher states and then go back down to the dungeon, into the quagmire of human existence. You don't. You stay at a certain level. It ain't real high, but it's not where you were. So continue, my sister. You kicking it hard now.
Well, I have a question based on what you just said.
Okay.
Is there a distinction between full realization and ascension? You kind of use them interchangeably, and then sometimes you do not.
Yes, there is a difference. From my knowledge of what I was told, what my guru told us, once you attain full realization, there is no more that you can attain. You're at the highest state of consciousness. There is nothing above that. When you attain ascension, you are in a God conscious state. You are a God being, but there is more to attain. This is the teachings that were given to me. As I have not attained full realization or ascension in this life, I can only imagine. But I will tell you this. When I did the medicines of Bufo, I thought everybody would experience what I experienced. I don't have the intellectual capacity to think even beyond that, what I attain. That state of love, that state of feeling like you are the ocean, and that you're aware of every wave, and every single solitary wave is nothing but love. Um, at this point in life, I don't have the intellectual capacity to even think of something beyond that. And I am imagining that there's something beyond that, way beyond that. And if that's the case, oh God, what we're in for, like that, y'all. I mean, if that state can be brought on through the medicine of Bufo, what's going to happen when you get totally connected with your God self? And whether it's ascension, whether it's full realization means no more to attain. Ascension means you're connected with your God self. I'm telling you what the guru told me, or what the guru explained to us, and what the ascended master explained to us. Once you attain ascension, there's other levels to go. Once you're fully realized, there's no more levels to go. This is what I've been told and what I have read.
Okay, thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We are at the top of page 201. As one who has chosen you, I know and feel your every thought. It is very easy at times for the student to think that his acts or thoughts are undercover and not known. But to the ascended host, there is no act or thought that can be hidden from them, because everything you think or feel is registered in the etheric world about you, as plain as the nose on your face. So do not ever make the mistake of feeling that you may think or act in secret. You may readily do this from the outer self, but never from the I am presence, which the ascended hosts are with no obstruction. This, my dear beloved students, is as far as I am permitted to go in helping to set up the guard for you. In the future, no further reference to this will be made. Remember that the decision lies within you to go forward or not.
Oh,
I didn't mark that as a jewel, but I believe it is.
It is.
So I have a question.
Yes.
Okay, so that means if she knows your every thought, and it says in the second paragraph, don't think that you may think or act in secret. So we're under watch 24/7.
24/7. 24/7. Consider this. If you have a being, if it belongs to you, Sister Kim, a being that belongs to you, a divine being that got lost, and you're in higher states of consciousness, how precious is that being to you? If you have a child, whether they're an infant or whatever, but they just got lost, how precious is that child to you? This is how God is looking at us. It's even on a higher level for the simple fact that we are divine beings. We are godlike beings that got trapped into our ego because we live on the most wicked planet in the universe. Now, I said universe. I didn't say galaxy. There's 500 trillion galaxies in this universe, and this universe is the smallest of all the other universes. We are trapped here in an immortal, a mortal body, subject to the satanic Illuminati and their minion, the media blasting wickedness on a level that equals Sodom and Gomorrah. We are trapped here. So wouldn't you yourself? It's not that we are all just this precious to them, but they can see it. They can read us in a nanosecond. As soon as we come before them, any spiritual master, they see our thoughts, our feelings. It's manifested right. It's all in the aura. It's all in the etheric realm. It's all there. Our thoughts don't go out in space and dissipate like if we burn water and see it evaporate out a pot until there's no water left in it. It's not like that. It is contained in our aura. And Thinking in Destiny, it shows you in that book. He has diagrams of how these thoughts not only do they stay in our aura, they come back to our mind. The more intense we are with it, they come back into our mind, into our being. They don't leave. If you're somebody that's saying the mantra, let's say 20,000 times a day, that's going to be affected in your aura. If you're doing it 5,000 times a day or 10,000 times a day, that's going to affect your aura. And what happens is, and I felt this before, if you get intense with it, you'll see that your brain will start cutting pathways. You see the lines that are in the brain. When we see these brains, all the folds and all like that, well, those are folds that we made in there through thought. Once you start intensely using the mantra, which is an easy way to get to God consciousness, you actually start cutting this pathway upon which your passive thinking begins to flow. So instead of you thinking helter skelter, this, that, and the other, and being controlled mostly by the media or social media or whatever outside of your own control, your passive thinking then starts to go on the lines that you're cutting in your brain of the mantra or decrees. Look at what we actually do in our own lives. Sister Lucretia was saying to me just the other day, she says, Baba, you keep saying that you're not good in the computer and this and that. Aren't you enhancing the fact that you're not good in the computer? And I was like, dang, how duh, yeah, So now I'm saying I'm going to master the computer. I'm going to master this internet and all this, because I need to. I need to. I was hoping it was going to go away. I thought to myself that, maybe it just get easier. But this is life. And the more I kept saying that this for decades now, the more I kept saying, yeah, someday I'm going to do it. No. But the other thing, to just go directly to answer your question, they see every thought we think. It's like our skin color. It's right in front of their face. It's right in front of their face. And there will come a time that you'll be able to see it too, and you'll be able to read it. For example, you'll be able to start seeing people's auras. Now, I got books that'll train you in that, right? You'll be able to time travel. I have books that'll train you in that. It's all a matter of practicing, and next thing you know, boom. I got tapes on doppelgangers where you can see yourself in other universes that have made progress in ascension or other things. Some of them are millionaires, billionaires, this, that, and the other. You can contact yourself in other universes and ask them how they got there. And that's you talking to you about how you can do what you want to do in this universe, or how you get to where they are in that universe. So our capacity to do is really unlimited. Omniscience, omnipotence, omnipresence. So, this is what I was going to say too. Let's say when in your beginning stages, when you see somebody with a red line across their forehead, that's a murderer.
That's what I'm scared to see. That's what I'm afraid to see. That you said that we wouldn't be able to see that. Start seeing people's auras. I'm afraid to start seeing.
Why?
Some people's auras. Seriously.
Why? Why?
Yeah.
Why would you be afraid?
Because sometimes you already have thoughts about certain people and things, and you kind of know what they do. I don't know. I just don't. I see auras of like the tree in my backyard. I can see a glow around it. I can see in certain see the electromagnetic field of some things, and sometimes glowing of people, but I'm afraid to see the actual colors and lines and all.
I hear you, and I understand completely, because some of the things are going to be scary. And this is one of the major things that the gurus, that living in a retreat of descended masters or living in a retreat with the guru, one of the major things that they are working on in us on a daily, hourly, minute by minute basis is humility. Because humility conquers our fear. The more humble you get, the more you depend on God for everything that you need or want, Humility. The key factor of humility is it conquers our fear. And it lets you realize, look, I am protected because God is protecting me. The blood is streaming around my body because God is streaming that blood around my body. My heart is beating because God is giving me is beating my heart. My lungs are breathing because God is doing that. And none of these things that we take for granted are we doing, especially in an egoic state. It's all God. Every step that we take is God allowing us, taking that step for us. Our feelings we control. We are the feeling aspect of God. That's ours. But our thoughts, that's a gift of God. Let's say you're getting into your spiritual practice and you get into a holy retreat or ashram and you do something you shouldn't do. I mean, really shouldn't do something that's really, really against the deen or against the spiritual practices. God will take your mind away from you. And you won't be in a state where you just can't think. You'll be in a state where you can't control your thinking. And I have never experienced anything as hellish as that. You got to realize that God is doing everything for us. We can see through the sense of sight because God vouchsafes that to us. We breathe because God allows us to breathe. God is pumping our lungs to breathe in and out. Everything that we're experiencing, everything that's happening is a reality of God allowing us to happen or allowing it or us to happen. And the more you start surrendering to God in every way, what you'll start realizing, now you're back into your God self. Now you're back into your God self and out of your ego. You go out of that and back into what you really are and who you really are. And then you begin to experience on levels, incrementally in time. I am God. I am. I am, I am, I am, I am. I remember the first time with Brother Hank, I go into this state. All that could come out of my mouth was, I am, 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 like that. And then Brother Hank said, chill out, calm down. You're in the sea of love. You're in the sea of love. I'm like, oh man, the sea of love, my God. And I thought to myself, could anything be higher than that? Truth be told, I don't know. But I know this, I can't think beyond it. And the thing, and the feeling of fear, of hatred, of any negative thought cannot enter that state. When you get into that state, Sister Kim, you are not going to be fearful. It will be so foreign to your mind. It's not a place where fear can enter. We really are God beings. And the body, this body, pineal gland, that's the seat of God. Pituitary gland, this is a starting place for us to move out of. Even deeper than that, the people that's controlling this planet had the ability to see to it that there was a discussion that we're not even given a pineal gland. So the ability to attain God would be, as far away from us as it is for animals. Our pineal gland should be the size of an egg, but it's the size of a pea. Why? Because really we are on this planet superhuman beings. That they have been over time diminishing in the DNA, diminishing our DNA, diminishing us on many, many ways. This brother, Billy Carson, he was talking about a couple of weeks ago, he did a seminar and he was talking about scientists have found out that our DNA have been tampered with. That our powers, all of our powers on the natural state should be way beyond the animals. The animals are psychically and intuitively far more advanced than most human beings. Now, why is that? Because we are so powerful that we would take over the planet. If we came into our own reality, we would simply take over the planet. Now, what's going on? There are people that control planets. They got us worshiping them as gods. And if we weren't so brainwashed, we would see if somebody is going to come up with the people are evil, let's kill them all. What kind of God is that? Let's drown them out. What kind of God is that? What kind of God is vengeful, wrathful, and these other qualities? That's not a God. That's an extraterrestrial that controls planets that's posing as God. And when you get so deep into thinking in these ways about a particular God, and then they tell you, don't, if you If you even think a certain way, it's blasphemous. And if you talk the things I just said, that's absolute blasphemy. And what do they say in these scriptures? You're guaranteeing yourself a seat in hell if you think or talk like that. And in fact, there was a certain time that if I would have said that, I'd definitely be stoned or killed. And in fact, if you go to the Middle East and say what I said, that you are God, you might be stoned today. So these are the things that are hindrances to us. But the fact of the matter is, once you start locking yourself in the concept that you are God, you're on your pathway. You're on the path. You're becoming what you are. Did I answer your question?
Yes.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Sister Tiffany, you have a question?
Yes, thank you, Sister Lucretia. So I was going to say two things. I noticed that when I do say the I am prayers consistently, I do feel pressure in my pineal gland, like the middle of my forehead. So I'm thinking that's to calcify my pineal gland.
Could you say that again about calcifying?
When I say the I am prayers consistently, I feel pressure in between my forehead, like where my pineal gland is. Does that mean that my pineal gland is being calcified?
It being uncalcified, you say?
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if I got the coming up. Okay. Yeah.
I would say, I put it like this. I'm going to, as I get greater mastery with this, I'm going to have pictures of things that I could show you, because this picture speaks 1,000 words. And a lot of these pictures are in this brother, is it Earl Grey? Not Earl Grey. Earl Grey shows you the physical aspect of God. But I think he is reincarnation. Alex Gray. He has psychic aspects of the human body, right? Let's say you start fasting. You give up meat. Do you eat any kind of meat like fish or, the other animals?
No, I stopped eating fish last year. Now I'm vegan, but I'm really like doing strict vegan. For the past 2 weeks, I've been doing strict vegan, and I noticed a difference in my thoughts, as well as saying the I am prayers. It does help a lot.
In the I'm going to call it the Sanskrit system rather than Indian or this, that, and the other, because in the interior of the earth, they're not Indian, they're not this, that, and the other. I mean, although they come from these races, Africa, India, everything, right? They call it tamastic. Tamastic is eating dead animals and all that kind of stuff, right? Sattvic is you get actually tamastic is the lowest. Sattvic is the highest. There's a middle term that more like the warriors kind of eat on the spiritual path. The word is escaping me right now. It'll come to me as we talk. But the more you go to this sattvic form of eating, right? Fasting, getting the most pure water. There's many, many things that we could be ingesting and taking into our system. Let's say like you're taking in ayahuasca, a spoonful every day. You're microdosing. It's going to take you. It's simply going to elevate your consciousness. If you're doing many of these things, even I haven't used it. Mushrooms. This elevates your consciousness. This is part of the South American system of attaining God. If you're doing various things, you're just going to purify the body, which will then purify the mind, which will then open you up into purifying, your thoughts on a much more powerful level. If you go into silence, that will help purify the mind. If you're only saying the name of God, right? If the only time you talk is when you saying the name of God, a mantra, or what we're doing now, right? If this is the only time you talk, this will purify your mind and enhance your energy on a level unfathomable. I mean, we can train ourselves to simply be in the God conscious state. In the same way we trained ourselves when we were younger to be in this ego state. The ego we did to protect ourselves. Then it took over. We start actually thinking we are the ego, we are the personality. But you can change your personality at any time. When I was reading the Ramayana, I felt like, I want to be like Ram. And for decades, I'd be praying, oh God, let me have divine character personality, and constantly, right? And then one time the thought came to me, do you know how to act like that? Do you know how to speak only the truth, to be kind, thoughtful, considerate, and so forth and so on? To be humble, to be modest. Do you know how to do that? And I'm like, gee, I was expecting maybe God, I go into a certain space and I would trip into, it ain't like that. You practice what you want to be. You practice. I'm telling you, I really thought that if I prayed enough, I decreed and chanted and all this, that I would like one day hit the door once I got on that other side, that I would be acting like a divine character with divine personality. It's not like that at all. You decide now. You decide now. I'm never going to lie again. You decide now. I'm going to say the decrees that Saint Germain said. If you say these decrees, which takes a minute and a half every day, I guarantee you ascension. And we do those decrees every day, right? I gave everybody those decrees, for America. Decrees for America, so that everyone in America becomes ascended. You do that. If you do that every day for Saint Germain, he guarantees you ascension. That's nothing to do. My point is this: if we practice purifying ourselves, and of course we're on notice from God. He's watching us every second of each moment we're in existence. He's recognizing and saying, "Okay, I'm gonna take you higher. I'm gonna take you higher," and then he's going to test us, and it's not going to be written on the board to Tiffany or Lucretia or Kim. It's not going to be written. Today is a test. It's not going to be written. And some tests are not meant for you to pass. Some tests are just to put in your place so that in the future, once this opportunity comes back, I will not fail it. So this is how it goes, y'all. The path, when you read it in a book, seems relatively easy. But in reality, it's literally like walking the razor's edge. You got to stay on it.
I have another question too.
Mm-hmm.
When we get to self-realization, at that point, we've already gotten to like the higher level. So will we have a desire to leave the body, or will we want to stay here? Because when you get to self-realization, I'm thinking that that's the higher level. And you're like, wow, I'm here in this lower level earth and I don't want to be here anymore. So does that happen that way? Or do we stay in the body and help other people? How does that work?
Generally, you get into a bodhisattvic state. But here's another thing. How many bodies do you have right now? You think that this is the only body you got?
Well, I mean, I listen to different teachers and they tell us, no, we have different bodies and different dimensions.
Yeah.
So okay.
Consider this. I was told that for every aspect of the zodiac, like, starting with ending with Pisces and starting with Aries, all that, Scorpio, all these others, you have an aspect of yourself. There's 12 aspects of yourself. The one you're existing in now is the one that's coming out of the after death state. You keep going around into these different aspects of yourself. All 12 of these aspects take a body. The other 11 are going through the after death states. Is it possible that one of these states are already fully realized? I don't know. I'd like to think so, but I don't know. What I'm saying is, and then there's I was telling you last week about the life and teachings of the masters of the Far East. They make it real clear. You got other bodies that you can use when you get to a certain state. And from what it seems to me, as these spiritual masters are not only operating here, but they're operating on other planets to help people too. They're taking people like ourselves that really want to go to higher states to those planets. There's levels of God consciousness that you're born into these higher families of great light. Like when we were reading volume 1 of these books, and volume 2, look at those people that were attaining ascension, like Bob and the other characters that were there. Look at the one who actually attained ascension when he met Godfrey Ray King. You weren't here then, Tiffany, but like Kim and Lucretia, you was here. Look at that. Look at how that was. So if it's not this life, you know, through our own efforts of really going hard, maybe it's the next life. But you definitely want to be in a family of great light. The family that I was born in, you know, I got loving brothers and sisters. You know, like my brother Victor. I mean, he was you know, hooked on drugs, but he's very loving, very forgiving, very thoughtful. He's hooked on drugs. He got 10 kids and 21 grandkids. I mean, he was living a drug life for you know, many decades. But he's in a loving state, and all those 10 kids he had with just two. Only he had 9 with one woman and 1 with another woman. There's people that's in, you know, accomplished and haven't done that. So karma is really kind of, and I look at, you know, other people in the family that's been given so many opportunities, and they haven't grown up. If we're born into families of great light, right? Our ability to expand in consciousness, that's like the foundation. Imagine if you're conceived in a ritual. In other words, your parents are wise enough. They prepare for you. They conceive you in a holy ritual of love. They teach you while you're in the womb holy things, or playing mantras and chants and stuff in the womb on you. Then when you come out, they're giving you divine teachings. This is a great setup for life. And we can do this. You know, if you're old enough to still have children and still have the desire for it, you're duty bound now to do what I just told you. And any being that comes to you will come to you because you now know what I just said. And if you don't use it, don't expect there won't come a time that they'll say to you, look, you know, are you still old enough to have children, Sister Tiffany?
I'm 40. I don't have any children yet, but I do feel like I want children. So I'm just hoping that I'll have the physical stamina to be able to have children. Because right now I'm just not ready. I don't feel it right now.
See,
in the circumstances I'm in, which are not bad circumstances, but still I'm just not feeling it right now. Because you know the circumstances I was born in were not completely bad. I've heard other worse stories, but I want to make sure that I am birthing spiritual beings who want to add and contribute to the good of the world and not the bad.
Yeah. Well, we know biologically any woman having children after 35 will have a geriatric pregnancy. We know this biologically. Doesn't mean it can't happen. It's just extremely difficult. You know, the body is saying, okay, you know, and you know, if you had children before that, it would be easier because many people have many children and have children in their late 40s. But that's because they had children before. But nonetheless, if it just so happens, you can pass on this knowledge to your child. I had a child like this that was conceived in this way, not under my absolute tutelage. It was my first child. And it seems to me she lost her way. I mean, she was very high state, went to the ashram all like this. But it's not enough to think that your parent can do everything for you. If you show disrespect to that parent, you're already, your God self is looking at you and like, you're showing disloyalty. You're showing ingratitude. God, of all the qualities, hates ingratitude. So, you know, even though you prepare a child to be in the most magnificent spiritual aspect, it is still up to them to go for it. And if they don't, consider this. You see many people that they're given everything and they show ingratitude to their parents. Next thing you know, in their next life, they may not even have a father that's around or a mother that really cares for them. Your karma that you perform today, that you don't see the reaction today, it's waiting for you down the road. And the longer it takes for you to get that retribution, the worse it's going to be. So many people that don't have a father, you know, their father conceives them and gets in the wind, you can believe that they show disrespect dishonor or ingratitude to a good father that they had in the past, or a mother that they had in the past. This is what they tell you in Thinking in Destiny, which is another book on our list. The balancing factor of karma, no one can figure how it's going to come about. I had another child, conceived in the same way with mantras on my lips and like this, right? During conception. And at 3 years old, he was so super conscious that he came to me and said, "Dad, can I ask you a question?" And I'm going, "Yeah, sure." And he sits down inside of me and he goes like this. He takes his hand and he's looking like this, right? "Are you telling me that the conscious self within is God?" Before he asked me that question, he said, "I've been thinking about this for a long time." He was 3. And as I see him now, it's like I'm so proud of him. I'm so happy to have him as a son. It's like a gift. He's loving, he's thoughtful, he's wise. He's only 20. He's handsome. It's like he's a wonderful person. It's a big difference in conceiving a child like I'm telling y'all now. Or, and let's say, even if you want to have a child, right? That you go out, you have dinner, drink some wine, then come home after 12 o'clock and conceive a child. It's a big difference, right? And most people don't even want to have children when they lay down to have sex. They just having sex, and their children are happenstance of the act. It's a big difference to be intentional. It's a big difference if you're preparing yourself for years and stuff. And this helps that child greatly. So as we live our lives, most of us are living our lives selfishly and still having children, not realizing we could have empowered that child so they had total recall of mind. We could start activating our DNAs through the power of the spoken word and bring up characteristics that's in our DNA, right? That will be transferred directly to the child. So this is I was just looking online today before we got to the discourse and the chanting, the decrees and like this. I was looking online to get my book published, right? Because it's finished now, and the book is all on this. Initially, I just started reading this book like a text, and as I started reading, I was like, "Man, this is heady. This is really cerebral. Who's going to read this except the guys in my study group?" Then a storyline came to me. So it's really faction, not fiction, faction, because I'm putting facts in a fictional way. And it's talking about that process, how you purify yourself before you later have the child, how you have the child in the divine ritual at the right time and the right day, right? And what you do while you're making love, that you're saying mantras all the time. This makes a great difference. And consider this. If you and your mate are saying the name of God when you have a mutual orgasmic expression or experience, what you will be doing is making the word flesh. Expect to have a divine being. This is just the ways of the world. Most of us don't know it, but these are the ways of the world, and they are super high powered.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, we are on page 201, the beginning of the third full paragraph. Now I shall say something very encouraging. The only possible reason why the personal ray of Jesus could be given forth to those under this radiation at this time was because 7 of this group of students were witness to the ascension of Jesus the Christ 2,000 years ago.
Wow.
He saw and recognized.
I'm sorry.
He saw and recognized them then, as he sees them, and is giving not only recognition at this time, but great assistance. As this radiance goes to you, beloved ones, so does it go on, reaching into the hearts of those who can receive the presence. Because of this radiation, many who have a deep love for Jesus, deep love for Jesus, or of Jesus through the Orthodox channels, will be awakened to the presence of the God within. Outside of this, the joint activity of Jesus with the ascended host is spreading its mantle of love, peace, and light over humanity, this being the time of year when their attention is most easily gained. The beginning of this chapter said that we were November, it was November 28th. So when they're saying season in this way, they're talking about coming into the Christmas
Yes.
time.
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
Thanksgiving and Christmas, yes. Okay. This is the first full paragraph on page 202. Beloved ones, does it sound incredible to you when I say the masters of light and wisdom have passages through the earth in all directions, directions, just the same as you have highways for your automobiles and going from coast to coast on the earth? Did you understand the atomic structure of the earth, you would not feel this such an incredible thing. For those great ones who have assisted the progress of humanity from the beginning have but to use certain rays, and they walk through the earth as easily as they walk through the water. Different, however, in that, and this is a jewel to me, they leave the opening behind them. While in your walking through the water, it closes behind you and the path is not apparent.
I wanna interject here, Sister Lucretia. That not only do the divine beings have these pathways, right? But the United States government have them, and when they got down there making their highways, they discovered that there are many other beings that have built these highways from the West Coast to the East Coast, North to South, and all over the world. And they have vehicles that travel through them: trains, cars, planes. They have highways that go from the interior of the earth. First you go in the elevator down to the interior of the earth, get on these trains, the next thing you know, you're on the moon. And these are physical vehicles. So the pathways and byways inside the interior of the earth would blow your mind. And I'm only talking about the physical ones that man can see. And in fact, they start interrupting some of the other pathways of the Greys and the Draco, and they had to tell them, look, yo, we got pathways here. Y'all got to figure this out, go up or under, whatever you do, but you can't be interrupting our tunnels and this and that and damaging them. And they got these big machines that bore holes through the earth. It's like incredible. So not only do the ascended masters do us with ease, but we're doing it almost as if, just like we got tunnels inside the, subways and stuff like that. They got passages in the interior of going east to west, north to south, zigzag this way, and then you can hear them. There's a place in is it not Los Angeles, where you can hear them. You can actually hear them in this airport. I think it's St. Louis. I'm not absolutely sure, but I think it's St. Louis, and they're talking about it all the time. We can hear these tunnels and these byways and highways that's underground that are not made by the American government. So you have both. You have what the ascended masters do, and you have what humans of now and the past have done. I don't know. Yes.
Those highways you're talking about, yeah, you're true. You're right. I watched a 3-hour program one day on that, and I was astounded at what I saw. That was just amazing, man. They got them going all the way from the east coast of this country all the way to the west coast, and they're big enough to put an 18-wheeler in them.
Oh yeah, going both ways. Matter of fact, understand this, right? We talk about Egypt and it being Africa, this and that. Well, right through the Sphinx. In fact, that whole underground area of the Great Pyramids, the Sphinx, which was larger in ancient times, right? There were schools and classes and all down there, mystery schools, right? Which trained you to be godlike, which is what happens when you go into the retreats of the ascended masters. And underneath that, right through the Sphinx, there's a passage that goes straight through the city to the city of Agartha, where a Mack truck coming and going could go, built with the same bricks, these stone bricks. There's tons, they weigh tons, right? Go directly to Agartha. There's so many passages right here in America that to go to Agartha, but if you take the wrong passage, you might be eaten by a dinosaur, a huge lizard, or something like this. The point I'm trying to make is this in regard to Egypt. If you see that there's this path that's going to the civilization that's hundreds of thousands of years old, if not millions of years old, right? Agartha, right? And then you get these same pyramids, this pyramids and the Sphinx and all this whole Giza complex, right? And you're coming from into the earth up, and you got all this stuff. Who has claim on who built these pyramids and these Sphinx, and who knows what else is under sand in that area, right? Because the Sphinx itself was under sand. They saw a glimpse of it and just started cleaning it out, and you know, they saw this complex, the whole Giza complex, right? With these pyramids with white marble all on them before the Muslims came in there and desecrated this place, right? All right. It's my thinking that the people that build those tunnels also built the complex. Now, whether they were black or this, that, or the other, I don't know. But it would seem to me that whoever built that tunnel going directly into the interior of the earth also built that complex. Not extraterrestrials and all this other kind of stuff that we're hearing. But the pyramids were there in Paleolithic times. Here's the simple question that any archaeologist would have to say to themselves. How do you go from the Stone Age to building pyramids? How do you go from making little wood handles and stone axes to building the pyramids? It's not possible. Not the people that was living there, whether they were Africans or
not evolutionary. It's not
right. It's not evolutionary possible.
Yeah,
and when you think about evolution, I mean, that's not a physical thing. It's not a physical thing. The evolutionary theory of Darwin is shot full of holes. And even the most modern scientists, when you get down to it, they tell you, they'll say to you the most ridiculous thing. Like, we think life was started off of crystals and so forth. So when you really start studying and you get into evolution, shot full of holes, the way they're describing it. The theory is just kaput. You have to start thinking differently to realize how we develop. And we weren't developing from a low state to a high state. We're coming from a high state to a low state. That's what's happening. We didn't start out as monkeys or amoebas and all this kind of foolishness that they're saying. Not at all. We're coming from a very high state down to this state.
I agree.
Continue, Sister Lucretia.
Right. We're on page 202, the last full paragraph, which I feel is a jewel. Just so with the great beings who have blazed the trails of humanity into the light, the trail remains that those children of lesser light may always find the pathway and follow it. If at times they should make a mistake and turn onto the byway, they have the I Am Presence to call them back to the main power and carry them forward until they too may be torchbearers or trailblazers to those still following on.
That's us. That's us right now.
Yeah, it is. I am the mighty presence who never becomes impatient nor discouraged at the long periods in which the children of earth turn aside from the light, enjoying the sense activities until they become so repellent to them that with almost their last breath, they cry aloud, "Oh God, save me." I cannot help but smile to myself as I wonder how some of you may think me very crabby old fellow. But if so, one who has the courage to tell you the truth of your needs, that you may profit by it. When you come to know me better, you will not think me such an old crab after all. So long as the student has a questioning in the mind, he does not open himself to the truth of the instruction fully. This next beginning of the paragraph is a jewel to me. If it is seen that it is worthwhile, determined entirely by the unpreaching of humanity to the light, then the natural rays are made permanent to the earth and placed within the center. The earth is composed of earth, water, and air. The rays are the cosmic fire, and they're penetrating all the three other elements. The rays pass through the earth, and where they interlock, they soften and form this luminous substance or radiance, the concentrated activity of the light. One ray enters the crust of the earth at a point just south of the center of the Gobi Desert, and the other one enters just east of Lake Titicaca in the Andes Mountains. Top of page 204. It is the largest lake in South America and the highest in the world. It was a point of great importance centuries ago.
Very great.
There are two, though these are the two most intense points of light in the earth. There is always a cosmic activity taking place at certain cycles which may not be interfered with. The great cosmic laws are exact to the minutest detail, and there is no such thing as failure nor accident connected with them. A great chance which takes great quantities of people out of the body only takes them where they cannot fight for a while. In World War, both sides hated the men they were sent against, and also the governments that sent them because of being sent. This next paragraph is a jewel to me. Never consider anything in the world but the great I am presence. Watch and govern your feeling, for if you do not, it will lead to a point where it will catch you unawares. Many times, the student who knows the law, when something comes up and is disappointed, should turn to the I am presence immediately and ask what is to be done. But instead, he so often holds the attention on the disappointment, it sometimes almost takes an earthquake to shake them loose from it. Take the statement, this resistance must give way, and the sight and hearing must come forth.
Hold it. Are we on? Is that the end of the page? This
Um,
resistance must give
I'm
way.
almost
and
at
the
the end of
sight and hearing- Okay, I'm
204.
sorry. Go ahead.
This
Yeah.
resistance must give way, and the sight and hearing must come forth.
Okay. Come through.
Come through. Okay, thank you. Okay. Does anybody have a question about that? Can you speak on that statement, Baba?
Okay. Let me read the paragraph again. Many times the student who knows the law, when something comes up and he is disappointed, should turn to the I am present immediately and ask, what is to be done? But instead, so often holds the attention on the disappointment. And then it sometimes almost takes an earthquake to shake him loose from it. Take the statement, the resistance must give way, and the light and hearing must come through. So let me give you an example. Now I'm just coming out of a thing, not fully, but financial difficulties. And we're doing this for 17 months now. We've been doing this, right? 17 months straight, every Sunday. We never missed a Sunday, if I can remember, except when we went and did the medicines in California, right? Here it is. I got all the teachings before me, and I'm struggling. Rent is behind. Cars are getting picked up. Money is short. This, that, and the other. But I got the tools to bring it into my life right there. And it wasn't, until I started realizing, what are you teaching? What are you doing? You got the tools to change what your existence. You know it intently. You know that through the power of the spoken word, you will evoke what it is you want. You will manifest it through the power of spoken word. It will manifest. It's just a matter of time, and it may not take a long time. It could be instantly. Remember when I said to you, this guy, he just held his fingers because he was moving from New York to Jersey, and he had a big truck, and the meter maid was coming around ready to give him a ticket, and he was like, what to do? And he just, bam, bam. It's like that to the two cars. What is the possibility of two people, one car behind the other is going to come and do it? This is the power that we actually have. So I just smack myself in the head and go, start saying, I'm the riches of God and my hands are used right now and eternally. You know, what's the most powerful decree that Saint Germain says that you could do to handle everything in your life? I am the conquering president. I command this, I am present to govern everything, right? I am the conquering president. I command this, I am present to govern perfectly my mind, home, affairs, and world. He says that's the most powerful decree you could say. I start doing it. And everything changed. Then I added some other stuff to it. I said, I'm going to do these austerities. One was to be celibate. The other was to no meat. Not that I was eating meat, that was easy. Another was to say Saint Germain's decree every day for the benefit of America, for the ascension of all the people of America and the world. I mean, it seemed like as soon as I said that, I got up and I got calls that I didn't make coming to me for finance, for this, for that. Next thing I know, the people that I owe all this rent to is saying, look, you cool. They're real backed up, and you got a chance to get that money up. And then the UCC laws. I was going to file bankruptcy. Then I found out the UCC laws that I didn't need to file bankruptcy. So when I got ready to do whatever I had to do in the future, I had these others, 1099s, A, C, and OID. All this, it's like everything becomes clearer. So let's say, for example, you see somebody doing just wretched things. Instead of you criticizing, judging, and so forth and so on, you can say, God is working there. Because that being is the same as you. We've done many things before. So what Saint Germain is trying to say to us, in every situation that we have, call on God to nullify something negative, or to empower some other being, or any number of different things that we're going to experience in life. Call on God to check it. So what he's saying here, and like he said, take an earthquake to shake them loose, right? I'm there too. I'm like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I got to put my stuff in storage. I took all my pictures that are around, like the one behind me. I got lots of pictures around. I'm wrapping them all up to put in storage. I'm rolling up all my Persian rugs to put them in storage. I'm doing all this kind of stuff instead of calling on God. Until I realized, what are you doing? And it was probably you, Sister Lucretia, that said something to me. I don't know if it was or not, but then I started realizing, yo, homie, you teaching this. What are you doing? Get down with the get down. Call on your God self. That's the God power. The power that's existing inside of us is the God power. We just got to use it. Like we use money or use any other tool. We got to use it. And it's there for us. It is us. And the more we use it, the more it becomes like magic. I'm going to repeat that. The more we use it, the more it becomes like magic. In fact, the more you use it, it's the magic that's in our life. So in this situation, he says, the resistance must give way and the sight and hearing must come through. In other words, show me what I need to do. God, bad situation is here. What do I need to do? Right? Then right here, take the firm statement. I am the presence of your perfect sight and hearing to heal those conditions. Each should take the statement. I am my perfect sight and hearing. Whatever the situation we find ourselves in, and we're going to find ourselves in some situations here on earth, believe me, we don't come here for happiness. Human beings are not vouchsafed happiness on earth. Animals live in fear. The gods live in happiness. Human beings live in lamentation. That's what we should expect throughout our life. Now, the difference between us and the animals is we're in between the two. We can choose to live like animals, or we could choose to live like gods. And how do we choose to live like gods? Acting like gods, checking our personality, saying the mantras, the prayers, the decrees, meditating, chanting, understanding that we got to work on character at all times. At all times. We got to act like we know. And the more higher you get in states of consciousness, What somebody else will see you doing and thinking that that's not the right way is the right way. The difference between you and them is you know what's right and they don't. It's not just love. It's love, wisdom, and power. You have to synergistically mix these three and then act. But it does take time for that to happen. But it doesn't take a long time. Through study, you can get to know what to do and what not to do. But I want to keep reiterating. Who's making that sound? What is that sound in there? Who's
We have a couple people with their mics open.
Okay, close your mics, whoever got their mics open. It would be easier to stop the wind by dint of your own two arms than to attain God realization through study. So you don't need a lot of knowledge, but through these volumes that Saint Germain has given us, there is a lot of knowledge. But the tools are what we're using. The tools are what are going to get you there. You only need to know a few things to move ahead into God realization or ascension, right? But the tools, prayers, decrees, chanting, mantra, meditation, service to humanity, if you're lucky enough to have a guru, to the guru, right? Guru Seva. These are the things that'll get you, and any one of them can get you there if you focus on it. But we're in Siddha Yoga, we're using all of them. So our progress is enhanced. I want to say something about the words that we're using, because last week, Sister Lucretia, you asked me about, suppose you say SHIT, and I was thinking about this through the weeks. There's a guy named, from last week to this week, there's a guy named Alex de Crawley. He wrote this 12-volume work called, I think it's 12 volume, called Before the Equinox. And in the beginning of that volume, it has him worshiping the shit god. And he's holding a pile of shit in his hands, offering it to the shit god. Now, why is he doing that? To gain what that god would give him. This is considered black magic, or negative magic. And so all the words that we use, even something that seems as relatively harmless as that word would evoke in your mind, it is not the highest qualities of the things that this body is producing. You understand? And imagine if this is the words that you're saying all the time. What does it bring into your life? Does it bring joy, happiness, peace, prosperity, or it brings in shit? So even something like that word, we gotta say to ourselves, if our words manifest things, what would that word manifest for us? You see what I mean?
Totally get it. Yes.
All right, let's continue.
Okay. We're at the top of page 205, first full paragraph. The Arabian Nights tales, they originally came from the masters who gave them out as veiled truth to help humanity, and those who believe them through faith receive marvelous manifestations. In the beginning of these marvelous experiences, there must be faith to tide over until we can manifest reality. For faith is a sustaining power, and if we can keep it generated, it becomes reality. That's a jewel, and I'll reread it.
Yes.
I'll start from again. In the beginning of these marvelous experiences, there must be faith to tide over until we can manifest the reality. For faith is the sustaining power, and if we can keep it generated, it becomes reality. This next paragraph is jeweled to me as well. There are always the two activities of the law when you get deep enough into the action of it. They are, first, condensation, and second, etherealization. Go serenely along and do not let time, space, or things interfere. The outer mind must be calm and steady, and the outer and inner will must become one. As the attention is fixed on it with firm determination, more and more of the inner operation is revealed until you can consciously manipulate it.
I want to ask something. Do you understand the full impact? Because this is not a jewel. This is a treasure chest of jewels. This one paragraph. Did you
It
did you
is.
see it like that, Sister Lucretia?
I did.
So tell me if you understand. Explain to me what you got out of that one paragraph.
Okay. It's kind of like that statement, fake it until you make it,
Okay.
where you act as if until it's so real that you don't have to think about it anymore. It is acting in you as a power.
Yeah. And the first two sentences is saying that point blank. Yeah, I mean we got way to handle words, but the first two sentences in that paragraph is saying it point blank, because exteriorization is manifestation.
Yes.
So you just keep saying it, keep saying it, keep saying it. And next thing you do, it's gonna be like the brother that did the two cars. Bam. First he said to the brothers that was around, "Oh ye of little faith." Bam, bam. And just like that, two people come to move their cars, one behind the other. And one came before the other one even took off. So this is how it will work for us. And believe this, sometimes it would just work for you to give you faith. You'll do something that's miraculous and you'll go, whoa, wow. Now, I didn't know that was going to happen. But God will allow you to step into that realm where you will manifest immediately something that you wanted to do. And that gives you faith, because once you do it, you're like, well, now I did that happenstantially. God gave me this gift. I need to get down with the get down now so I could do that as God, knowing I am the God. I am the God. I am. And Saint Germain's been telling us for the last 3 books, these are the most powerful 2 words you could use. Look at Muhammad Ali. I am the greatest. People look at Muhammad Ali now with awe. Did he know what he was saying and doing when he said, I am the greatest? Or he just, just said that?
I think he knew.
I think you're right. I think you're right. Anyway, this chapter, it didn't start out with the bomb jewels, but it dropped the bomb jewels. Matter of fact, what am I saying? This whole book is the bomb jam. Is jewels dropping like the Germans dropped bombs on England. More.
Yes.
Anyway, you want to close us out with the benediction?
I shall. Okay. Benediction. Presence of Miru, Nada, and the great ascended hosts, we give praise and thanks for thy radiant splendor, for thy wisdom, for thy substance, which thou art generating to make visible. We give praise and thanks that thy great wisdom and intelligence are one with the great I am, which I am. We are ever bringing more of itself forward into conscious action. We give praise and thanks that in the acknowledgement of the I am present, we have the key to all things visible and invisible.
Yes. That chapter was like food. That chapter. So who's taking the next chapter of all you divine people in this class? I'll wait. Everybody in here, nobody's taking that chapter. Nobody wants to take the next chapter. Let me see here. Wow.
Hey, Lalji, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, just want to thank everyone who's listening. At this time, just want to share with the audience the video, because we're going to have this presentation of our brother Lalji, who's sacrificing his precious time for the purpose of everyone's elevation into higher awareness. So I salute you, Lalji. I salute you, Jadine. And I salute you, the listening audience. So listen here for a moment while you consider offering your spoken word blessings to the chat. to the audience.
Meditate. Is that cool, Hank? Can we do that? Can we meditate while you play this music? Hank? Still there? Brother Hank. I was ready to we got or we can end this short. We can cut it short today. And but I like that Brother Hank got a treasure chest of many spiritual jewels. Not only jewelry, but books and medicines and many other things. And I want to say to y'all, and for all those who don't know, we read before that Saint Germain said in these other two books that we read, volume 1, volume 2, we're on volume 3 now. It says there are people who are masters that are not showing their mastery, and they live upstairs, or they have the corner grocery store, or a tailor shop, or a shoe shop where they can fix the shoes. When time comes, they show their mastery. Brother Hank is one of those brothers. I'm gonna tell you straight, point blank and straight away, he is not an ordinary human. I don't know if you can hear me or not, but I appreciate all that you have done, all that you have given to me, which is a great deal. I appreciate it so much. And so I want to read the chant that I told you, like you said every time.
Okay. Where did Lalji go?
I'm just in the chat. I'm right.
All right. Acknowledge y'all got the chat lit up. So does this take place every Sunday? We planning on this is the second Sunday, Michael. And we also got West Africa listening in. This is a global audience, family. This is a global. So wherever you are in the world, take the time to text and I'll post where you're listening from. Because imagine a whole grid of people doing their I am affirmations throughout the world. So that's why I'm here providing the space for Lalji and his wife Jadine so that they can pass you the torch to allow your heart fire to expand and you become a dream master. So also, Lalji, what is your, in case anyone would like to give donations to the to your mission, what is a link, whether it's Zelle or Venmo or PayPal? Get that to me so I could create a banner so people can you're listening to from the South Africa's in the house. Thank you. We got Phoenix, Arizona, the Netherlands.
Can you send
Chicago
to him again?
she can text it to me.
Okay.
You got Michigan. This is a global service that Brother Lalji is providing so that you can chant to transform the holographic reality we call Earth. You have someone here from Nairobi. Thank you. So it's global, family. Global. Global I am affirmations. And Lalji, show them your crystal. We got
Oh,
somebody here from Connecticut. Now you hold that like a microphone, Lalji. Family, you hold it like a microphone and speak into it. And the piezoelectric effect will amplify your positive affirmations 600%. London is in the house. Colorado is in the house. Thanks for sharing your locations so we can act local, chant local, and have influence global.
I want to chant a decree into this. I want to decree the most power. A decree that Saint Germain says this is the most powerful decree a human can speak. I am the conquering presence, and I command this I am presence to govern perfectly my mind, home, affairs, and world. If you just do that in the afternoon or in your job, like if you can walk around like you don't have to be focused like that, and you can be walking around, you can be saying that all day, and next thing you know, your whole life is being perfectly run by God, your mind, your home, your affairs, and world.
Yes, yes. And family, wrap a crystal around your neck so it sits over your heart chakra. Okay, I just got the text.
Matter of fact, I'm gonna show you some of the crystals I got from Hank.
I just got it. Thank you, Jadine. I'm going to copy and paste because we all need to help each other in the spirit of Ubuntu. Ubuntu means we, me. There cannot be any me without everyone or we. And there can be no me without we. I hope I said that right.
This is just two of the crystals I got from Brother Hank. And I gave my other mala, or I knit my other mala to my son.
Okay, I got the copy. I'm copying. I'm creating a banner, y'all, so bear with me. I'm just going to go back to posting where you are located and listening to, because you are literally a I am tower, especially if you do your I am affirmations barefoot, connected to the earth, like a radio tower, grounded into the earth. All right, just wanted to share that. I don't know why. Let me see. Oh, here it is. Okay, let me see. Copy, paste, scroll across, add banner. And let's go here to, we got Myrtle Beach. Oh, we lost the connection. Columbia. Welcome, Columbia. Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. While you barefoot right now. Mahalo, mahalo. I got on my crystals at this moment. We lost Lalji temporarily, but we're going to bring him back. But if you want to manifest, whether it's finance, health, relationships, get barefoot or get a grounding pad, especially those of us who are in the cold northern regions of the planet at this time. You get a grounding pad so that you're connected to the earth, just like a transmission tower. That's very important. Here, Fort Mill, South Carolina, Los Angeles. Okay. We had one. Yes. Shati. Wonderful. Wonderful. We all love you. And we need you to do your crystal I am chants. To do your crystal I am chants. I don't know what happened to Lalji, but we're going to share with you another banner just as inspiration. And we put together these videos for the purpose of your elevation so that you get a visual, acoustic experience of the vision that you are divine incarnate.
Welcome to magnets, crystals, and pyramids. Success is your destiny. Yes. Love, wisdom, power. Remember, always who you are. Yes. Yes. I am. Love, wisdom, power. Yes. Yes. I am. Love, yes. Power. Yes. I am. Yes, I am love, wisdom, power. Yes, yes, I am love, wisdom, power. Master. Yes, I am. Yes, love, wisdom, power. Yes, I am. Say yes, to yourself. Yes, I am. Protect. Yes, yes, I am. Master. I am. Yes.
Yes, family, wherever you are, greetings on our spaceship planet Earth. Lalji and his wife, Jadine, were having technical challenges, but he is back.
Okay, he'll be right back.
Are we back?
Lalji, yeah.
You're back, brother.
Come on.
Okay.
Let's
So
do
what
it.
we're going to do is also share with you, always remember who you are.
Okay, there you go. There you go.
Remember, you are, I am.
You are in the show. Everyone can hear you.
Can they see me too?
Look, that's you.
Because you're on the thing?
Did you see them before?
No. Remember when you are. Yes, I am. Iowa. Renee, Iowa. Who else did that? Can they hear me? Can everybody hear me?
Your thing is going down. So
What
you gotta
thing?
charge it.
Okay.
You're in the red.
Can I make? Oh, great.
Hey, Lalji,
Great. Brother
you're back,
Hank.
bringing you front and center,
Nice.
and you could go ahead and continue, bro.
Thank
And
you.
thank you, everyone, for your patience, because as we got to have a beginning. Beginnings, small beginnings, like seeds to create humongous events like a tree. So go ahead, Brother Lalji. Family, this is the donations. So Cash App, $ Shambhala. Is that Shambhala funding or just Zelle? Let me see. I think that's just Zelle. Let me hide that for a second.
Shambhala funding?
Yes.
Okay, and my
Your email.
the email. Okay, all right.
Oh, okay. So let me just make sure I do this correctly for you, and we're going to keep this.
Please stay here.
All right. So now I'm going to save that and put it along the bottom. So as the show progresses, everyone can have the generosity throughout the world if you're able to send donations. So yes, thank you from all over our spaceship planet Earth.
Hold on, Hank. Jadine said she did something wrong. I don't know what it is. The Zelle is ralg999@aol.com, right? And the Cash App, you have Shambhala funding. I thought it was something else.
Shambhala funding at AOL. I put
At
AIL.
AOL.
No, take off the I. It's not AIL.
Wait a second. Cash App. You got it. That doesn't sound right.
The Cash App is correct.
The Cash App is correct.
The
But-
Zelle has AIL instead of AOL.
AOL. Sorry. Fingers, you know.
All right, take your time now. Let me get it right because this is being recorded, and people will listen to this in the future. So, is that an uppercase F for funding?
Yes.
So it says Shambhala funding. That's Cash App, right?
Yes.
Okay, your Zelle is Ralaji999 at AOL.com.
Yes.
All right. Do you have a PayPal?
No,
Okay.
we're working on that one.
Don't worry about it. Sundays you got off.
Okay.
All right. And we're going to save that, and we're going to put that ticker tape right now. Lalji and Jadine, tell me if that's correct.
That is correct. RALALJ999@AOL.com. Yes.
Okay, and the Cash App, Shambhala Funding, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
So that's
All
all
right.
got to be Shambhala funding.
That's it. That's it for
Okay.
your cash app.
Does
And I might change that in the future.
Does anybody have any questions before we? So if nobody's taking the next chapter, I'll take the next chapter. I'll do the next.
Oh, ask them again because they had time to think about it after all those videos.
Right. Does anybody want to take the next chapter for next Sunday on the line that has the volume 3?
Don't know what that is.
Don't everybody speak at once. You know how difficult that is. Don't everybody speak at once. Nobody. I guess you're busy. I'll take the next chapter. Does anybody have any questions on what we discussed today?
Excuse me.
Nobody has any questions? Okay. Then what I'll do is I'll end the class with the chant that my guru would have us chant all the time. What is that?
Oh, you're not on Zoom.
I'm not. They can't see me.
Oh.
Lalji,
Yeah.
you are on AOL. I mean, not AOL. You are live on YouTube right now.
Okay. I'm not on Zoom. I'm not in the Zoom.
She said you're only on Zoom.
AOL?
Yeah.
Not AOL.
She said she's
YouTube.
only on YouTube.
YouTube. Okay. So I'm going to end. We're going to close out with this mantra, this small chant that my guru would chant every time we finish the program, just so that our relationship with God and the spiritual masters are intact and not hampered. Because usually when something happens in our life,
broadcasting for you, nice.
Usually when something happened in our life, we blame God. And our guru told us, God is never to blame for anything that we do. God only gives us the fruits of our actions, and the fruits always corresponds to the action. So before we go blaming, judging, and criticizing God, this chant is basically saying, may we always love each other. May we always stay friends. May we always just love and be devoted to one another, guru and disciple. So let me read it. Mukta Nandaya Gurave Shisha Samsara Harine Bhakta Kaye Dedehaya Namaste Chitsaratmane Om Namah Shivaya Gurave Sachidananda Murtaye Nish Prapanchaya Shantaya Niralambaya Te Om Sahana Vavaktu Sahano Gunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahe Tejas Vinavadi Namastu Mahavivishavale Om Shanti 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 Sadgurunath Maharaj Ki Jai. Thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you, Brother Hank, Master Hank, for doing what you do, helping me to navigate this new technology. Well, not new technology, new for me. And everyone will see you next week. Remember, before we start the discourse, an hour before that, we may increase it to 2 hours and 15 minutes so that you learn high-powered prayers, high-powered decrees, chanting, and 45 minutes of meditation. 15 minutes of prayer, half hour of decrees, an hour of chanting, and 45 minutes of meditation. Those who want to participate in this intense introduction before our 10:30 course starts, please let me know, because it is intense. And those who can't, you can come in at any other time in that 2 hour period and get what you can get for the amount of time that you can focus on. So once again, thank you everyone. May God bless you, your family, your friends, your dreams and hopes. Sakinath Maharaj Ki Jai.
And I want to say thank you to all the audience. I want to thank you for your generosity now and in the future. Thank you for being born. Thank you for being alive. Thank you for surviving the airport adolescence of your formative years. With these I am affirmations and with your crystal, whether you wear it along your neck or your waistline, you can accelerate and amplify your success in this lifetime. So I want to thank you again, Master Lalji. I want to thank you, the listening audience. And Lalji, we're going to go offline, but stay on the air, okay?
Okay.
See y'all next Sunday. Om Shanti. Blessings.